Yep.
Let's go. All right.
All right. So I want to talk about this one, and I'm actually opening with it's the riskiest hot list item, but I think if you go kind of small with it, there's some opportunity here. It's FaZe. So for whatever reason, whales are just like have been all over this um, for weeks now. Even as it had that dramatic sell off, right? And so what I'm seeing with FaZe is very bullish sold put activity at 5p and 6p. Those are the dominant contracts for really kind of for the next 2 weeks. Um, Sold puts down to 4p. Like they're just kind of not having it with a further decline here. And then I'm seeing bullish calls at all the way up to like 10C, 15C, 30C leaps. Those are definitely IV plays where like if you just get a rally of any kind, those contracts will start to jump. So I think this is just going to be very, very active, and I see limited downside in options. Although I acknowledge the chart is probably in kind of a precarious position.
Yeah, we're definitely well. It's a recent IPO, so there's not much history. I mean, $5 psych would be it right now. I'm looking for your insider holdings because that's seems to be important here. Do you know what these guys are? You looked into that?
Yeah, so they're like
Like a gaming company, the gaming team.
lifestyle and media brand founded and rooted in gaming and youth culture, which just made me puke when I read that. It's like,
Yeah, no, they're like one of the high end. Like if you watch ESPN, they're one of the
yeah,
team. They're one of the teams on there. Like they got a team for
yeah,
everything. So,
yep.
um, so that's why I want to look at ownership because if it's heavily insider owned, um, that could be That could be reason for huge moves on this thing. Like huge moves on this thing. Um, your volume profile is 13 still. $5 psych is what I would play. I would definitely just go real small. This is like 100 share lotto thing for me on my
Yeah,
end. That's what I would do.
that $5 psych is well supported by those sold puts too. So to me, I've done this long enough that it's kind of like an artificial floor, where there isn't the TA there, but it is a psych level.
Yeah.
So so it's kind of a spot for a bounce. If it loses 5, I'm done with it. But I think that we could see a bounce there, and we could see a bounce before that. But I'm gonna like kind of wait for the move to start, and then I would jump in.
This thing don't bounce. It's gonna jump. It's more than a bounce. It's just
Yeah.
there's not much there. If it comes off 5, it's probably going 7 8 real quick.
Yep.
So for me, how I play that again, it's a smaller size, and you just pick a spot, whether it's 450 or 4. Do I want to risk 50 or $100 here? And it's kind of just wait and see on that. And then you take your, if it does jump to 7 or 8, you kind of just take it there. You stop loss at 650 and ride the wave. But I like it. Needs volume. Um, we both
Yeah.
said no
The
floor.
and
So
the volume's there in options, so they're sort of they're prepped for a move, and they can push it if they want to. So
yeah, and
um,
I wouldn't be against also setting alert at 4. You guys that don't want to take a lot of risks, just set alert at 4, and if it happens, I'd buy there 100%.
yeah,
Because this could easily just on a bad day go south. Kind of looks like what it's done the last 2 weeks from 13.
yeah, and that's where I mean I've been noticing it this whole time, and it's a little bit like EVTL where it just was so active in the flow, even as it was selling off, that I just feel like they're going to do something with it.
This got the IPO pump when that was a thing.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of rode that wave, and it hit 25. I mean, plenty of room on this chart. Um, even back again 7, 8, but 10, even back to 10, you're still 100%. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like it, and I think you prefaced it and you kind of led each last few weeks with this is the risky one. So this is the
Yeah.
professor's social play.
Yep.
I like
All
it.
right. So next up for me is IQ. IQ is a Chinese ADR, and what I'm seeing here, there's some interesting neutral activity on 3.5
I need 4. Yeah,
C. Um,
that's close enough.
and um, but what kind of really has my attention here is I don't think that this is gonna stay under 2.5 or 250 very long, just given the sold puts I'm seeing, and like a lot of the Chinese stocks, it does have these March lows hanging out there, which would be at two. I would definitely be interested in this at two. Closer to two we can get, the better. But there's a lot of strength and options at 2.5, and then you start to see December calls at four uh, look really plausible to me, and just sort of walking it back up through November and the three calls and 3.5. So I think just the next run on China, whenever that happens, this is going to get back into that four range to be.
Yeah, 4 is your volume profile. I have the 183 low, but I mean it's the bottom of a wick one day in
Yeah.
I think July. Yeah, but other than that, kind of with you. Um, I would try to get. I like two. I like two better than 240s.
Yeah, and I think if you are given the uncertainty of Chinese news and that it can drop any day, I'm probably just going to take my time with this one, and might even go with those 2024 leaps that I'm seeing at 7.5, which those are like $30. So if you just want to kind of go long, but get a little bit more of the move than you would get with just shares, that would be the contract I'd look at.
That's weird. It had a good move Tuesday, almost to 3. I think probably tested 3 and then dropped to 220 on Friday. Crazy. Um, LGHL did that kind of too. I'm with you. I'm with you here. These are fine and bottom. Any good news from the government, they're definitely going to be. They're going to be like weed on Friday, but a little slower.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so next up for me, just because I mean, a lot of people have been trading this regularly anyway, but Fubo, I want to just put back on there, and basically as close as you can get to 350 is a great spot for a move back to four, and really they're wanting to push this past five, I think. And let me give you some dates here.
350 is 3 or
So
3p. I can live with that.
yeah, so we've got the January 5C is starting to look good. December 5C. December, so 12/16 5C is about a $45-$46 contract. Open interest over 11,000, 74% bullish. So if you want to trade options on it without dealing with getting shaken out on a weekly, that might be a good one to look at.
Yeah, I had it in notes last week. I don't think I had it in the week before, but I had it in notes last week. Just thought we had enough pullback off that 450 level over the last month. 362 is kind of my number for that guy.
Yeah, and that lines up with the 350p because
It's close as you're gonna
as
get. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So I would load. I mean, if you get a 350 dip, that would definitely load. I mean, it's possible. It's 340, 320 maybe is possible. Um, but 450 is the target still. That's the area I'm looking to confirm for the move up to that 5 level. I think it'll be 450, not 5. But those calls you're talking about are money at 450.
yeah, exactly.
Yep, love it, love it.
Yep, and just there's so much familiarity here now with this one, and it
Yeah,
we got the huge move where the patience was rewarded back when it was in like the 250 range, and now we're just getting a kind of reliable channel up here.
I think Fubu is a rare opportunity that it was just kind of like coming to life during the euphoric market of 2020, and it just got railed because it wasn't ready. But you see the potential in it, because I think it was like 60 or 70 bucks.
Yeah,
I don't even care about that from here, from the $2-3 range. And I don't say go long on many stocks, but if you're holding this at the $2 or $3 range, outside of it, like just the collapse of everything, that's these guys are going to 3-5x in 5 years, easy from there, easy, maybe sooner. But I mean, this is getting back.
yeah.
This is
I
getting
mean, and
back to
they're
$15. Just is.
it looks like they have a nice foundation in soccer, and just
They
you
keep
see them sort of
adding.
scaling into other sports, and
Yeah.
and there are some of the big name streaming people aren't really that great at live sports. So if one of them decides like, hey, we want to just get into this live sports thing and take on ESPN, I mean that's this is someone they could acquire that already knows what they're doing there.
Well,
So
and they have been very upfront about introducing the gaming to it, being that
yeah,
medium as well. So there's such potential there, on both sides. But yeah, streaming in sports. That's why I. That's enough said there. I know people. Pele is one of them. If you watch soccer, like you have it, you have it because
yeah,
it's the best right now.
yep. All right, so next up for me, I've been getting into these beer stocks. I've been noticing them. Sam was the first one.
Tap.
Sam is expensive on the share side and the option side. It even at it's like 1/4 of what it had traded at its highs. But I like this one better. Tap. Tap is Molson,
Yep.
and
Molson
um,
Coors.
so what I see here. Let me
I,
call this up.
I did the most dirty TA on this ever, and it worked out pretty good. 3-year volume profile is 45, and 1-year volume profile is 50.89. So that's where my lines are. You got 45.50 channel. Kind
And
of
the
in
contract is 120 PC is the one that caught my attention. And
50.
then you see it up to yep, and 120 48 or 47.5C is nice as well. They're pretty much all on the call side here.
Do you have
The
54, 55s?
the yeah, so I've got 52.5C for 120 as well, and it's almost all that they're so focused on January is where they're
Interesting.
at, and then the leaps for the next year are kind of moonshots at like 85, so they sort of just
That's all time.
go crazy there. But I do have some 55C for November, December. I've got decent open interest on that.
I think
So
I think you're good here.
yeah, put to call ratio is a microscopic 0.09. So again, it's all on the call side for what they're doing here. And this is what by the way, this is a pattern with consumer defensive stocks. They just sort of reverse them and they just keep grinding up to their targets. And that's kind of what I see happening here.
This is like inverse. This had July highs.
Yes.
This is all backwards. And it's been straight downhill since then on the weekly, but where you can see it leveling out on the weekly, it's compressing. And that 45 is huge. We're kind of making a higher low off of that 45. Love to see it, especially on the names.
Yeah, and how I play these, I pretty much just I buy whatever the whales are buying, and look at January, and I'm just not going to get shaken out of it. I'm just going to wait it out and look for the move that they're seeing because they're pretty locked in on it.
Nice, I like it. I like it. I like it. These ones that I can usually jump in with 100 shares on a trend day, and
Yeah,
take a couple $100 out of them.
yeah, it's sort of like we did this with Eat before. It's kind of a
Yes,
similar thing.
yes. Pfizer,
Um,
Pfizer and Mo would be the two um,
yeah,
that
yeah,
I do it with regularly. That's like these are easy levels to trade off of for a couple bucks. Move north of.
yeah, and it's all about like the know the character
Yes.
of the stock that you're looking at, and this sort of fits the mold. So yeah, it's a new one for me, but familiar scenario. That's how I would put it. All right, so next up for me, getting back into D nuts, and did not catch the bottom on this, but I think it's going to break out of this channel is what got me into it.
We have 1284 and 14. It looks like 50 right in there. So this is reclaiming the channel we had after the break on my end.
11, 18, 15C. That's the one I liked, and that's contracts trading at about $20 right now. So, a lot of strength happening at 12.5C for 1021. And again, this is one of those with monthly contracts, so you have to kind of read it with that in mind. So for the in the money strike to be bullish, and then 1021 15C actually picking up a little bit of attention, even though that thing's like $2. I would look at a month later, 11, 18, 15C, and that's where I see it going.
Weekly is a good example, especially after a big fall down. You see this big candle with big volume, big fall down of a stock kind of getting liquid. You have sell off to a certain point, buy back, sell off to a certain point, buy back, but the volume pretty much is very, very similar across those 6 weeks. There's no big or low volume weeks. Once the shares down here, there's no more to trade. It has to move up to this next channel to have shares to distribute. That's just how that works.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, I don't know if we still get sub 12s, but low 12s is probably looking pretty darn safe.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I just love the picture in November to 15. So yeah, the entry. There's time to be picky, I think, but yeah, I think we'll get that.
Yeah, that 14. When that 14 goes, if it gets on the other side of that and confirms, that's never coming back.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they had such a strong European presence or UK presence. Did not know that. I looked into them a little bit though.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, they have a pretty strong UK presence.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that. Even into Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah. I didn't know that at all. I thought they
Yeah.
were just California donut shop that made it or something like that.
So next up for me, getting into energy plays a little bit. VTNR, which has kind of lagged behind the sector a bit, but their whole deal is recycling industrial waste and commercial chemical products. Those are kind of their two deals. So they deal with recycle used motor oil and other petroleum products. So they're kind of that's where they're not a pure oil play is what I'm getting at. Okay, so this one had a huge run. We caught part of that last time,
Yep.
and had this big sell off here, sitting at around 750 right now, and it's just been all over my small cap energy filters.
What you got? 9?
Yeah, I got 9 and 10. So I've got 1021, 10C.
Jesus.
I got leaps to
15.
1250 and 15.
There it is. That's what we like.
So
This is my favorite setup. I have a 883 channel and a 1505 channel on a previous winner from the professor. Really good consolidation around that $9 level last time it moved. It's right below my level, and he's talking about it. That's a perfect spot for me to get in. That seems really, really safe. So that's why it's my favorite setup. I actually passed over this, and then you posted, like, I was doing work at the time, right? Going through my stuff, and I passed over it with a note like, look at it again next week. And when you mentioned it, I was like, this week.
yeah.
So I like it. 750 I think is a great number to start. Share side to add 7, maybe 720, 750, but this goes back to 8 real easy into the 8s, and for me that's enough. You get the stocks that are $6 to $8 that have 50 to 70 cent range. That's a playground for me.
Yeah, and it's at that price point where shares and options work well, and I think that monthly options are cheap enough that that's probably what I'd go with.
Yeah, I know I like it.
But yeah, this should move well.
I like it a lot.
All right, next up for me is TEL.
Never heard of it.
Which so there was it was way the hell oversold, and there was definitely an opportunity to play it up to this level, but I like the stability of where we're at now, and this is when the whales are getting back into it. So let me give you some numbers here. So 2.5C for the week is extremely bullish. The volume exceeds the open interest, which is something that that you tend to look for. And then 1118 4C
that's the number. That's the ticket.
Is bullish as well. And and this one, gets those crazy leaps up to 7 and 10 that they still do. But yeah, so I like the around here to 4 is kind of what I'm looking at.
I played one of these dip days. I forgot which one. Took a dime or a nickel, a couple of them out of it. Definitely looking for the confirmation. I love the 250. 230 confirmed really, really quick. You're going to see higher lows back into the 3s regardless. This is a really good swing candidate in my opinion. Yeah. I was waiting for you here. I let you lead on these ones for sure.
Yeah.
Calling the bottom right now just seems like a bad idea. In a regular market, we would have been all over this 3 weeks ago on the drop, but you got to give it time to see what's real, and I think this mid 2s is definitely it.
Yeah, the whales had been hesitant, and now the put to call ratio was over 1 during that drop, meaning that's very bearish. Anything over 0.7, and now it's 0.14, so completely flipped, and they're just they're all about the calls now. So really really good spot, safer than trying to catch the knife on it a couple weeks ago, although or you could have certainly done that. But yeah, I like definitely some stability here, and I see this channel that it's probably going to break back into over 3. So definitely like it now.
I think we have like 313 to that 399 was the original.
Yep.
Yeah, and I see this could very well just walk up 10, 20 cents every single week the next 3 weeks on low volume like it has the last 2.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, safety first. Love it.
And next up for me, starting to get into restaurants, RRGB.
I'm proud of myself on
I
that one.
it, this one I've played before on. They've had some recent earnings beats, and then they give it back, and then sort of come back into it. Way way oversold here. Still, even at this spot to me. What this isn't one that gets like a ton of volume and options, but the flow on the small volumes kind of been pretty reliable. And so I've got for March caught my attention, and then everything around 7.5. 7.5, the puts are bullish and the calls are bullish as well. So so I think there could be some definite momentum there.
Yeah, we got 8 to 11, 850 to 11. This thing's going back there. That's your volume profile. Not your
Yeah.
850 is your pivot, whether you're going to be slightly undervalued or slightly overvalued. That's that's where it should be. I mean, even in crappy conditions, that's where I have us. You get a good ER report, this thing's going to test that 10, 11, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it can show some strength even when the market's looking bad. So it sort of escapes the larger market when it has its setup.
Yeah, this is when we talk about not having much more downside. This is like A plus in that regard. It just doesn't have much more downside.
Yeah. All right. So next up for me is SoFi, and I put
Yay.
SoFi on here just because of the absurdity of this being at $5. Just does not have much more room down. They really don't. Like I look at like 450. There is a little bit of bearish push, but I don't think they can get to 450 if that makes sense. I think that it could fall into like the four, and if we sell off on Monday, it's going to do that. But like 490, potentially like 480, 482, something like that. If it gets there, I look at leaps on it, and the picture's pretty nice there with leaps to 7, 8, even 10. So just like the potential of this one.
Yeah, I put on this 528 line on this chart like over a month ago, and it's just the pivot. Um, if you look at the chart last week, it was holding there till Friday. That was the spot. So I like it under that level. Just in general, I mean, there's some range down to like 480, but 528 is kind of it. It's gonna get tight before it goes. I'm personally just waiting for the student loan news to come in. That's got to be positive for them. They're when the
Yeah,
loan
yeah,
they hold the loans. When the loans get paid back, they get the money. It's not like
yeah,
they're just
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
not like they're just writing off the money and saying, "All right, government, we took care of it." Um, they'll cover that debt, so that'll be a good quarter report for them. But yeah, I like them. 528 is my level. It's the only line I have on the chart right now. Your volume profile is closer to 6.
yep, very good. So next up for me is um, Groupon. So I was gonna this is kind of the inverse of what you were just talking about. I was gonna wait on Groupon until the TA had some clarity, but then I saw it show up on your scanners,
Friday, yeah.
and so the flow is good on it. So I was like, it actually maybe does line up already. So yeah, so I'm into Groupon, looking at 1021 9C on it, and and a little bit of 10C as well. That one's starting to flip
Nice.
a little bit bullish. So a little bit hard to read because there's like a feeding frenzy with this 10% drop. So I'm definitely looking to see what happens here. on Monday with the open interest on it, and if we potentially could dip under 8 again, but I'd probably look for those 780s to hold.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I trade like a broken record. That's how I stay successful. It's the same stuff over and over again. But these stocks that move 50 cents in a day, it's 50, 70 cents in a day that are in this price range, they just seem easy for me. That $9 level we already had, we're about 80 cents below that here. Yeah, that's why it makes sense to me. It just
Yeah,
Friday.
and
I don't trust Friday right now. That's all it really was.
I don't. There's nothing about the long term outlook of this company that I really like, but I
Nope.
think as a trading it definitely is got a lot of potential.
I like this
So
company because the green compression candle on the weekly.
yeah,
So,
exactly right. Yeah, not because of their office building that's 80% empty as everyone's
no.
remote and as they're laying off everybody. But yeah,
You see how these last two candles touches this line, and we're gonna open the week down here. I like that. That's about it.
yeah. And all right, so next up for me, this is a sector where like the flow was like lining up really well, and then it just got pummeled on Friday. LAC.
Yep, that was another one. I like that one too. Probably better than Groupon, to be honest with
Yeah, LAC
you.
they have something that's like
Tangible.
tangible,
Tangible.
real, and needed as far as batteries go.
Hey, my
So
10% at Mimi's Cookies is tangible.
yeah.
Just so you know.
So this one, same story over and over again, where you start to see like 25C and then 30C.
Yeah.
30C is in January leaps. They were buying the dip on that. A little bit of 1118. 30Cs has some attention too. But eight of the top 10 contracts on it are bullish, and they're all clustered around 25C, 27.5C, up to 30C, all expirations through January.
2912 is the only line I have on this chart. This is one you let get away from the line and play it back through, play the continuation. It usually takes a couple weeks. It's not a fast mover, but it's a really good trend stock.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. So I like the sector. Look for other lithium plays in my notes as well. SLI, LTHM.
You have a floor here?
Yeah, 22.
22. Oh, perfect. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is good to go. This is really good to go. Because this one you don't get the ceiling. Like if it's going to go to 30 or 35 or test 40 again, you don't get that until a week down the road. Like it already starts making the move.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
And then I'm going to close out my list this week with two EV chargers. First up's F-Cell. And F-Cell kind of like, to me, is another one of those that got in that bull market run and was just like out of hand and just way too early. But it's a company that has some legit contracts and staying power, I think. And worst case scenario, someone's going to buy them.
Yeah, but, they got the Walmart partnership that should keep them somewhat afloat. They're hydrogen.
Yeah, exactly. And all right, so leaps to 5 and some strength at 3C through October. That's what has my attention here.
Yeah, you haven't quite caught the low 287. Hopefully 3 holds here. This wasn't on my list yet. I'd like to see a little more confirmation off of the $3 level. Kind of broke trend.
Yeah. Was looking before this for 350 to hold. And by the way, coincidentally,
that's my line.
I actually mentioned, I was like, in hindsight, this rally didn't have a lot of staying power because we're not talking about stocks like FCell. I kind of just it came up as the example for me that if the broader market was just going to see some rally like August, we would have seen stocks like FCell again just really getting hammered. So I'm not seeing that, but I'm kind of seeing the beginning of something and looking for a level to hold. Looking for I actually want to see a dip under 3 to see how quickly they buy it up.
Okay.
That's why I hot
Okay.
listed it.
Okay.
So kind of like,
so 280 is your number then. That's where
yes,
I'm really looking
yeah,
for it to turn. Okay. Okay.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, because if the market sells off on Monday, like I think it's going to, this is not going to hold up. But I just want to see how quickly it bounces back.
Bounces back. No, 100%. Well, that's what we want to do. We want to be a little early.
Yep.
I mean, either that or you find something that really will continue. Those are the safest two plays.
Yeah.
Either you're early or you're.
Yeah, and that's why we kind of spread our attention out into energy and things that have a better outlook already versus the ones it's like, okay, there's a setup here, but there's not a lot of conviction in it yet. We want to see it drop and then see how it does. And on that note, Blink is in that probably a little bit better overall as a setup for me. And so what I see out of Blink is 18C into November.
Sweet.
Has some potential. And or sorry, rather 17.5C and leaps to 30. So they're kind of thinking that this will have a big reversal at some point, but they're not trying to time it.
We just check back to the 200 on the weekly, which is right on the 16, which 16 is the lower level. 1624 is the channel I have. I love it here, especially if you're just going to play it back to 17, 18. I like that.
Yep. All right, so so that's my list. So we can
sweet
go through yours.
We had a few there on the double ups. Blink. Let me get those out the way. I think I messaged you a little bit. I really just want the extremes on your side, right? Because the rest I can put in notes. Some of these TA levels are good, and I've been really cautious with trying to make sure everything lines up. So I think the best way to avoid that, avoiding stuff, is either knowing what you say, hey, stay away from, or hey, this is good. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in general. Obviously, the first two, Ape and AMC, are more just a talking point that I wanted to discuss with you. So I guess we'll start there. But we've talked AMC 6.
Yeah. So Ape doesn't have options, but it seems like it actually is better when AMC is going to go. Like on the share side, Ape has some more room to it. Okay. All right, so AMC, just the best play on AMC lately has been let it spike away from 7 and then play it back to 7 and puts. That's kind of been the thing. And then what I'm looking for is for it to just break down and finally get to 6. 4P leaps are what has been the play lately for whales. And it doesn't necessarily mean they think it's going to go to 4, but when you play a March put at 4 is $90, and a move back to 6 is going to take that up like 50-80%. So that's kind of what they're after. You get some IV plays up to like 26C when it spikes. Same kind of thing, but you see a more extreme out of the money play to the upside when they try to do that. So yeah, I mean, I think it might put up a fight at 7 a bit, but I think it's going to lose. That's my take on AMC.
So when do you see AMC? No, let me ask it a different way. Do you see AMC back at 10 next month or two? Just a testy, just a touch.
Yeah. No,
No, no.
no, I don't.
Okay,
Not in the
okay.
next year. Next year, though, I think it will.
All right. Well,
Um,
on to the next one.
yeah, like February or something like that. I think it will.
Yeah, that's we're day traders.
Yeah.
Apron boss reset, big reset here. We done? You have that on your end? You got
Oh,
options.
let me see.
Did they not hit it Friday? It held Friday, which was odd, especially with direction of the market. I got 266, had it for quite some time. 250 is probably a little
So,
bit more
yeah,
important.
what's been uh, there is actually some nice flow on it. 1216 5C. They started to buy that Friday, and it's actually is the first day that flow wasn't a disaster. So I think they might actually try to squeeze this.
Again,
Yeah,
Are-
again.
this week? I mean, your expirations, are they like close? Or are they these only monthlies? Or
Yeah, it's December,
oh,
so
okay,
it
okay,
would be,
okay,
and with it being 5C, that tells me that it's going to be this week or next week.
okay.
So yeah.
I'm a A here, not A plus. What are you thinking?
Uh, a A minus, but that could go to A plus depending on what I see early in
Let's
the week.
let's do it. Let's do it. I just got to get a
Yeah,
feel for this guy.
yeah. It's kind of it's like there were like a lot of people sort of they bought at over 5 on those candles, thinking that it's heading back to highs, and now they're all their DD is kind of like they're sort of coping. But there is some potential to get back to their entry, I think. But they really messed up. That Matt Straight guy, he
Yeah,
really screwed them up.
yeah.
But yeah,
Cans and ADR. Isn't that a Bitcoin ADR? I think it's a Bitcoin ADR.
what can?
Can,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
It loves this 320 level. So the range ain't great back to 380, but it's hit this channel probably 4 times.
So the sold puts at 3 on 1021, and then the calls at 3.5. Um, do look pretty good, but when I was into can, it was because of the out of the money strikes that hit. So I don't see anything dramatic here.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of the same boat. I'm surprised you were on this one, CCJ 26. It's the upper part of the channel from your first move.
Yeah, so it's probably going to make it into my notes as
Okay.
B plus flow. The main thing is a lot of the contracts are neutral on it, so I'm getting it's a hard read until we get going this week.
If
So
we
either I see some potential to pull back to between 20, like the mid 25s
Yep.
and 26,
I see it.
and I'll retest there is going to tell me a lot.
Yeah, the mixed flow on the lower level of the channel is something I would mess with, but the mixed flow on the upper level of the channel, something to wait on. And with that's what I'm taking out from what you said. I was hoping you had 30s, 32s, but
Yeah, they I usually do. They backed off of those though, and like the 12, 16, 32C is literally 50-50 right now. So I want to see that tip bullish, and then I'll be into it.
same thing with CDE. We're up on that 350, kind of confirming that. Does have ranged about 5. The trend on miners has been really good too.
Yeah. 2024 leaps to 7. That's what jumps out at me. So
That's not
yeah, actually, I think I probably would. We'll go ahead and we'll put
Yeah.
CDE on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had it in the notes and went against the grain on you once and won on it, so I love it now.
Yeah.
DDL's another one. Oops, don't put it on that list yet. It's an ADR. I think it's like DoorDash for China. But 374 has been this lower level, range to 7. I like the way it moves. It's an Outcast song.
Yeah, I don't have any flow on it.
All right.
I
We
don't
really
have- I
haven't.
kinda-
Go ahead.
I'm gonna watch it though. I'm not gonna hot list it, but I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
sort of
That's
ding
half.
dong.
That's half the battle. No, I played it once or twice. It's good, but the ADRs really haven't all took off yet. When it does, I want to be here because the range is
Yeah.
really good on this thing.
Yeah, it'll go to $5 probably.
Yeah. EVGO. Good compression on the weekly off this basically $8 level, 791. Range to 12. Even 9's good.
Yeah, flow is bad, but that could change. That could change quickly. So
I think we've ran into that a few times with this guy.
yeah,
I'll just keep an eye on it until it's good. A lot of it though is just top of mind awareness for you too, right? Like if I tell you, hey, this is good over here right now, if you catch it Monday or Tuesday, that's great.
yeah, and I much prefer trading this over like Nikola.
Yeah.
EVGO is just so much better.
Did you watch that American Greed?
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Yeah, I don't want to buy that Nikola anymore.
Right.
Givo 237, just chilling down here.
Yeah, the 2.5 C is a little for me right now.
Okay. Let's hang out.
So yeah, I don't like the flow yet.
And I think we're already on gold. But while we're here, we'll just talk about
yes,
because it reset to this 1546 line is tradable. And it's kind of where you add under.
Yeah, so like 15C, 16.5, very stable, bullish flow on it right now.
Yeah, it's on the hot list. You just want to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the best way to go with that. That Grow Generation, I did get this one from you a mad long time ago. GRWG, I believe it is.
Yep.
Yeah, we're 350s. Our 395 is my line. Here we are. 550 is the top end. Kind of confirmed 350 a little better than 395, but on this pullback, that's where it pulled back to on Friday.
Yeah, could let me see here. That was a wild trade on the wheat stocks, and they predictably gave a lot of it back. But
the craziest part is I had the chart up.
Yeah, we were talking about it right when it happened.
Yeah, I had the chart up. The only reason I got in. That was the only reason I got in. I got it just Tilray, but that was the only reason. It literally happened while I was looking at the chart. I was like, oh, move.
So, yeah, so 4.5C, 5C, they were buying it into the sell-off. So that's a pretty good. And they loaded up right at open on Friday and then just sort of didn't care about the selling. So I like the potential here.
All right, let's add it. This has some exposure in a new one.
Yeah.
Jack. This is one that floors me. It's not good on your end or not standy out on your end. The 73 on Jack.
They just they don't buy the options a lot on it.
Okay.
That's the kind of part.
So it's like just a no activity.
Right.
Interesting. All right. Lemonade is that on? I don't think it was on the list last week. No. Oh yes, it was on the hot list. We're keeping it.
Yeah, we should keep it.
Run through that. Lift reset. I don't know if it reset on your end, but the chart reset from when we talked about it last time. The 1250 level, we had 15.
Yeah, so gonna wait to see what Monday does.
Okay.
a lot of bearish noise, but I think that they'll pull out of that.
Let's talk about the next two together, and let me grab my phone to look at the price of Bitcoin, but Riot and Mara.
Oh, let's see.
We're at 19 and a half. Stuck in purgatory on Bitcoin. I'm telling you, it's just that stupid channel. But yeah, I like Mara at 10. I mean, it's in my notes. I like Mara back down here at 10. I think we're headed that direction, especially if Bitcoin has one move south. We have that G20 thing I talked about a little bit earlier. They're going to talk about regulation on a global scale for stable coins because of their volatility. It kind of seemed like an oxymoron to me.
Yeah, I think Mara's gonna go to 1050 before it bounces.
Yes, yeah, 10. Yeah, no, that would be the caveat of the note, and I've already set them both. If you get Mara at 10 or sub 10, that's when you buy, and if you get Riot sub 7, that's when you buy.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I've learned from coin is that if I have a line on my chart, it's going to hit it, and it'll hit it quicker than you assumed, both to the downside and the upside.
And the upside.
So,
yep.
But yeah, I think we get a pretty steep sell off and a bounce, and 1050 is where I'd look for it. So, yeah, I'm good with adding these. I think we want to be in them late in the week. They'll recover. Kind of my take on it.
100%. And after seeing that run on Mara last time, I mean, if Bitcoin responds well to anything that G20 summit has, if that's a catalyst for them, Mara was 17 last time, and that's a power move. That's a power move for me.
Yeah.
Piton. We paper handed, but I did okay twice last week, so
yeah,
I'm okay with it. I have 840. Don't search the group. Just don't search the group because I've had 840 forever. The way it's respected it the last 2 weeks, especially with confirmation this last week, I like, and it's a tradable range for me. It's 40 cents a day.
Yeah, 1021 9C looks good.
That's short term.
I like it. Yeah.
Do you have any sold puts?
Let's see. Yeah, well, actually, those are weeklies. Not a lot for this week just yet. 1014 8.5.
Okay.
See, actually, that one stands out. So yeah,
I just wanted it to be tight to the price right here. I think we're just gonna start trending back up on this one and back to the 10-11 range.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of news of big names could buy them and have a great partnership, so I like that. The dip was because their CEO said they had 6 months to live in an interview and it was taken out of context. He said, I've been here a year and 6 months, and that's like my deadline to turn the ship around. That's what he said, and so that's what the initial dip was for. Wish I would have caught it when it happened because I might have went a little thick.
Yeah.
So SVM, last one I have here. Oh, and then there's two charts I want to just talk about. But SVM is silver stock, I believe.
Oh yeah.
100% I got it
so
for you.
Kind of a this one's a little bit of a hard read just because it's got 2.5 and then 5 and then nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing in
between.
Okay. But should move pretty nicely with the sector and with where it's at. I mean, we're basically looking for 250 to hold is what I'm looking at. You can kind of use silver futures as a guide, but definitely could play this one to 280, I think.
Yeah, 277 is my line. That's resistance right now.
yeah.
I'm looking to break that and go to 4. That's what I was looking on the flow side read.
Okay. Gotcha.
The channel's 234 to 277, so breaking that upper channel. Yeah, I'll just notes. I'll save it for notes. These are good TA plays though. Um, I forgot what it was that you said. Oh yeah, we were talking about oil, and then you said that some of the strength that the companies were showing, um, not the ones that pump it out of the ground or sell it at the gas station, the stuff in between.
Yeah.
Um, and I mentioned it to you a while ago, and I think we added it, played it, and then got off of it. But that NOV, the National Oil Well Varco, it's like
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
tanker.
Mhm.
So we played it off of 17, and this thing dipped all the way back down to this 1468 line I have, and within a week and a half went back to 18. But that, for me, that showed what you said. I seen it in a chart that I didn't know how to play.
Yeah. It's right. Um,
If you look at the
yeah. This
weekly,
one.
it's dumb. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Because when I was mentioning it to you, I was mentioning, hey, this is holding 17 well. Are we going to leg back up to 20s? Um, and it did like a couple weeks, but 17 was kind of lying in the sand, and this thing just went with the market. And I was like, oh, okay, so it is going to die. That's why we didn't have strong flow read. But 1 week later, it's all the way back.
Yeah, and it does have
Now,
flow 20 and 22. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
now it does. I'm sure it does now. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because someone sold them their 15s.
Yep.
But just how it responded to levels that we had, and then um, it was a missed bus for me. But then when you said what you said today, with the everything between pumping it out of the ground and getting into your gas tank, those guys are going to be doing good. Those should be resilient. Um,
Yeah. They're the ones looking like they're gonna hit an uptrend and just keep going.
and just keep going. The only one I like that's techie is Datadog. I don't know why it likes this like 90 to 97 channel, but it'll complete it for you.
Yeah, and I was actually so yes, like this will be in my notes. Flo's tipping bullish on it. Nothing
Yeah,
dramatic just yet though.
yeah, yeah. I like that. Yeah, those were the two that I had. Just kind of just wanted to mention them, and that one was an addition when you said what you said with the market cast comment because it lined up way too well.
Yeah, and well, here's a good example of net. Even though it dropped 9% and like 10% is as low, that's still kind of a scary chart to me. I think net could very easily dip back into the 40s if the market goes bad.
Yeah, but that was a dub off 55.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Now we're just right back there, so we'll
Yeah,
see what
100,
happens.
no, 100%. Speaking of those charts, let's do those real quick.
Yeah.
Clean up our old list. Um, a lot of these, I guarantee you're gonna say the move already happened, because they did, and then they just got destroyed Friday.
Yeah.
Blue, very underrated off our $6 call. Hit 750, I think, and then died Friday.
Yeah. I'm done with it for now.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
call though. That was a perfect setup. Hut kind of fits the Bitcoin theme. I got 175.
Yeah. I do like I want to keep it.
Let's keep.
But I think the caveat that it's gonna dip first. But yeah.
Yeah. 175. You guys should know that by
Yeah.
now. Frey, the best weekly chart on the planet.
Let's see here.
For me, 14's just confirming over and over again. 14.
Yeah, I've got it to 18, so
Yeah, let's
should
keep
probably
it.
keep.
Yeah, let's keep it. Have you looked at the weekly chart? Look at the weekly.
Yeah, yeah.
Flipping lovely. Uh, Another one, man. Like, I don't think anybody, including myself, thought this move would happen like it did, or that it would go this far. But Weber, I mean, we were on. This is another $6 one. It hasn't really even squeezed yet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's
It's low volume.
Yep. Let's see.
But I mean, we were telling people to buy it at 6. It's 750 now. My line was 775. The thing that scares me,
Yeah,
I
I
think, just
mean,
haven't had the volume.
if you bought the leaps on it we talked about, you've been slowly moving up and are probably still in it. Still looks good to 10 to me.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll keep her.
Yeah.
That's a scary chart to me. It just looks like it could go the other way on one day. But Boyle, we're early.
Yeah, we're early. Still like the overall thesis on it.
All I could say is I had this goddamn line on the chart. We didn't talk about it. It drops down. We get a doji on the weekly, get another green compression candle on the weekly. It's confirmed 55 both weeks. It's what we do here. For me, this is what we do here.
Yep.
Coin.
Yeah, so definitely keeping it. Loved how it went back up to my line at 67.02. Gave up some of that after hours. I would assume it's going to dip more. And 65 is definitely a newish level for me that's going to be of note. Could dip as far as 63 or 62. We'll see. But I'm looking for a bounce off there. Ideally that's what's going to happen. Like I'd like to see it go down to my line at 63.85. See how it reacts there. If it gets really bad, 61.94, and then that's where I go long again.
Nice. Sorry, Strap Boy. Snap.
He just buys at the absolute wrong time. So this one is really where the whales concentrate their attention in that sector for any kind of rebound. Looking kind of bearish at the moment, but there's just limited downside down here. It's just if you get under 10, I would buy it again.
I had 952 as our line last week. It gave it Monday and took off. I mean, this is a dub. Continuation is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I think it's going to pull back to 10 again, but maybe a higher low off that's what I'd look for.
Okay. Yeah, so continuation.
Yeah.
That's the reason to keep it. All right, Nat.
Let's see.
259. Had a good Friday. What the hell?
Yeah, one of the few. All right, so
350's target. From 250, 350. That's where we're at now. That's what we're looking for.
January 4C. That's the most popular contract. So yeah, I think we're good to go.
Yeah, I like it. It doesn't have a bad looking chart. I don't care the time frame you look at it. It all looks good. Invex.
Had some decent upside moves early in the week. Puts are bearish to 16. I'll probably regret it, but I'm gonna take it off.
Okay. Net.
Still like. All right. Yeah. Net. Taking net off.
Okay.
Just want to see what happens.
Yeah, I got the move. I'm not going to try to confirm that twice. Datadog. I'm fine with this being retired to the hot stove. I'll put my levels in my write-up. You do the same?
Yeah. We'll do that.
Okay. Because I mean, it's if not, it's going to live on this list.
Yeah.
These levels aren't changing until it goes to 100. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. Like, we're going to either play off this 80, 80, 85 or 90, depending on the market, back to 100 until it confirms 100. That's just
Yeah.
that's what I see. X.
I was gonna take the win and
Okay.
wait for my pullback.
Okay. Disney.
Um,
We were good till
think we'll see
Friday.
92 again on this.
No.
I kind of don't either. Let me see where my floor is right now.
I think the next time it tests 95, it's going to tell you a lot.
That's what I'm waiting on. Yeah, that's where the floor is, 95. That's close enough to where we are. I think we'll
keep it.
We'll keep it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. AG. Baller call.
Yeah.
This is a really good call. This is a good one. 819 is what I have. We've bounced off it. No, this is the third bounce off of it since you've been on.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I think I think silver oversold for what was happening.
Perfect. Gold we already did. I have 1550 confirming. It's almost as similar as AG. There's another 3 times off this level. You're still I think you said 1650 last time, or was it the 18s?
Well, yeah, it was 18s.
Okay. GTE, it moved. You weren't wrong.
Yeah. Don't have a lot of confidence over 150, and we're at 143, so
okay,
I'll go ahead and take it off. But it might break through that. We'll see.
ALLY.
I'll take the win here. It was kind of like a short-term first timer, and we'll see if it bounces. But
I like this chart, P. I need more confirmation here. I need like 3 weeks sideways, and for it to not necessarily make a high or a lower low, but test the low. Maybe like test the low one more time. Like 2850 would be cool.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Flo's brand new on this one for me, but I still see him in it, so I'll be watching it.
Yeah. And then
so we'll see.
35 is my number. If you see 35s pop up, let's go.
Yeah.
Hood. This is Professor's a super genius stock. It was like $7 or $8. You're like, it's $10 or $11 stock. Just shut up and buy it. And it's like hit that 6 times now.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to take it off for now. But definitely looking for retest on the 975 or so.
God. Yeah, I just remember you're like, it's an $11 stock. It just is. I'm over here thinking, bro, this is a recent IPO. It's total meme, meme appeal.
Yeah.
Like, how you call a PT like that? It's on downtrend, and then it just, oh wait, we're gonna go back to 11. I got Professor's memo. Fro, I have $10 on. Are we gonna? Is this trend continuing? You called the bottom kind of on this pretty good.
Yes, I think it is. I'd 12? Like to keep it.
You have 12 or better,
or? Yeah, I got 12 and 14.
Okay, I love this. I love that sector right now, like we talked about earlier. So, because they're a delivery too, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. STNG. 35 is the only line I have. 35.40 is the only line out of this chart. You could probably put 38 or 40 on there too, though, at this point in time.
Yeah, I've got 45 and 48. So one of those going to bust through all-time highs and keep going. That's my read.
Perfect. We'll keep it. I like this. It's a sector too. We're kind of tankers in Bitcoin this week, it looks like. Kodak.
let's see.
Couldn't tell Friday. Thursday, Friday kind of killed it.
Yeah. It's I don't see this going below 450, and
That's our
we're
number.
close enough to wait it out. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's my number on the 453. I gotta put this in my notes this week if it's not. Rumble. Oops. What did I do there?
They Flo's here's telling me like there's going to be some kind of news. I don't know what they'll sign Kanye West or something, but
Love it.
yeah, I'm just waiting it out.
You keep it? Go. Keep it or notes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
Okay. Rocket Lab. I got the move I wanted.
Yeah, me too. So take it off.
BRCC Black Rock Coffee. Sector in general moved the wrong way. All of them have been going the wrong way. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it makes no sense because there's lines at them all. It just makes no sense to me.
Right.
You go a coffee guy. You see the lines at Dutch Brothers and Starbucks and stuff. Yep. It's flipping ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take it off for a week. I'll probably give it a try.
100%. I'm fine with saying I was wrong. BTU. You done with this yet?
No.
No.
It's gonna go to $40. It's gonna go to $40. I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're just gonna keep it.
Wow, 40, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Devin.
Let me see here. I sold the last of my calls on it that I bought at like $56.
This was a dub last week. Jesus, I didn't even look at this.
Yeah, it's wild.
63.55 was the line.
Yeah, it's gonna. There's some resistance up here, but I think the sector might carry it to 80.
Back to 80.
So, yeah, I'll go and keep it.
Okay.
I just I wish I would have bought more. I did monthlies back at like 56 and just kept them all. But that was my lines 56.13.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Monster. So yeah, I think the I think it breaks through here, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Okay. Lemonade. 20 back at 22.
Yeah, we should keep it.
Oh yeah, we already did that one. My bad. Roblox. 40 until Friday. Big fail.
Yeah. Quick trip back. I got a line at 36.06 on this, and so it dipped below that.
Do you see this going back to like 32? That's where I got mine at, but we haven't went there in a while.
Yeah. No, there's no flow action there. I mean, the lowest you get in the flow is like 34.
Yeah. Okay. So 34 to 40 is my channel. We're at 34.50. If you don't see this selling off, this is a keeper.
It is. Yeah. We're just going to see. I think this, as the market sells off, the sell off here should be less dramatic. And as that slows down and consolidates, good spot to enter.
Yeah, what did we get to on this? Did we get to 53? I'm going to go on a limb and say we get 65 out of this by the end of the year. Let me write that down. Hold on. Unc just said 65 on Roblox by the end of the year. Wait, I'm going to change that. 62.50. Sorry. That's still a high of the year, or not of the year, the move. So $10 above that 53. Yeah, I think these guys do good.
Yeah.
Run.
Let's see.
Hit the line Tuesday and sold off.
Yeah, still looking kind of bearish.
Yeah, let's top away. SPWR, Sun Power. We're on 2150 here, but weekly looks a train wreck.
Yeah, I'm gonna bail on that for now.
Okay. Sorry, Strat Boy, but we win on these. Laser.
Let me see if what they're gonna do.
We had 750 again. That's been the pivot.
Yeah, I don't have enough flow outside the weeklies to know much right now, but
It's real good TA right now.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it just
Okay.
because of what I'm assuming is gonna happen in the flow this week.
All right, perfect. And that's us. We did her.
Nice.
Not bad.
I like it.
You got
List is a good mix.
Yeah, I think we got two dominant sectors in the Bitcoin and the oil shipper kind of the poopy oil shippers, I guess you'd call them. They're mid.
Yeah.
They're small. They're small as the mids, right? They're nothing major. And I like those because they have really good range. You have anything else you want me to look at just for funsies, or you good to go?
Yeah. Let me see. I just have one. Wanted to see.
What was on that list?
So we talked a lot about Upstart.
Okay.
Where are you at, like TA wise on this?
It's gonna break 20, and then we'll figure it out. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, about $18 is where I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't have
So,
it's. I have
so
nothing there, right? There's not much.
yeah, yeah,
The IPO was 22, so there's like nothing under 20, which is kind of why it's. If the IPO was 22 and we're hitting 20, we're at a 10% discount, and I think eventually that just it's just gonna run out there. Probably news driven at some point, like they'll fire 1,500 people or something, right? And that'll push it down, which that's
yeah.
usually good news when they fire people because it saves on
Right.
the expenses. But yeah, I don't know when. I probably wouldn't be adding here. This is not a DCA in at 20 for me.
No, I'm with you. I've just been kind of waiting on it to fail, and then
Yeah,
see where we get from there.
it's pretty sideways last 3 weeks, low compression, and the volume's been sporadic. I just think it just needs a reason to push it, probably south.
Yeah, yeah.
I do have one that because I think you mentioned it too is Posh, and it's been on my trend list. The weekly's out flipping rageous on that thing. It did just kind of have a monster move at the end of the week, but just interested in what you see on your side.
Let's see.
I mean, what was this thing? 60? It's just a really weird chart. If you look at it,
that could definitely go to 20.
if you look
11,
at
18.
if you look at the weekly on the year P, it's like pretty much unaffected by market conditions. It just did its own thing. I mean, it was in a downtrend for sure, but it didn't have like didn't do much. It didn't. There's no July, May in there at all, and then it just
Yeah,
decided to pick itself up off the floor. What 6-7 weeks ago? It tried to. That's probably what really doesn't make sense to me is that it tried to pick itself up after the August rally. It makes no
yeah.
sense. I just keep an eye on that one though. It's interesting, very interesting. At this point in time, I'd probably start ringing the bell if it pulls back to 15,
Yeah.
looking for those 20s. But yeah. That's all I got though. Usual
Yeah,
note.
yeah, I'm with you. So I'm gonna work on some notes and get this list up, and just look at futures and go from there.
Awesome. Good stuff as always. Have a good day out there.
Yep, you too.